The message arrived on a quiet morning, when the sky over the Atlantic Command Complex was still soft and pale. John Carter stood in front of the main screen and watched the strange symbols drift across the display. They looked like lines of ice and fire, moving in patterns no human language used. The translation software worked in silence for a long moment, then the symbols turned into simple words in English. To the species of Earth, the message began, "You will kneel." John felt the room shift. No one spoke. The command center was full of people, but the silence was so thick that it felt like another person in the room. Lisa Morrow stood beside him, her arms folded tight across her chest. She was a diplomatic officer, trained to find calm in chaos, to turn threats into treaties. Even she looked pale now. The voice of the alien envoy came through next. It sounded like many voices speaking at once, as if a crowd tried to talk in perfect unison. "This is the decree of the Galactic Council," the envoy said. "Earth will submit to supervision and tribute. You will dismantle your heavy weapons. You will place your orbital platforms under Council control. You will accept Council advisors in your governments. Refusal is not allowed." The words were calm. They were not shouted. That made them worse. Around the main console, officers watched with tight faces. A young tactical analyst had his hands on the edge of his station. His knuckles were white. On another screen, live feeds showed the alien envoy ship hanging in orbit. The vessel was a long silver spear with rings of blue light spinning around it. It had appeared without warning 3 hours ago, inside the solar system, ignoring all normal travel lanes. "Replay the last line," John said. The system replayed the same cold words. "You will kneel." Beside him, Lisa let out a slow breath. "They did not even try to hide the tone," she said. "No promise, no offer, only an order." John turned toward the rows of global representatives on the side screens. There were presidents, prime ministers, council chairs, and defense ministers from every continent. Some of them were in bunkers, some in quiet offices, some in rooms with flags behind them. All of them were watching him. "Is this message the same in all languages?" John asked. A communications officer nodded. "Yes, sir. Every channel, every region, same demand." On one screen, the representative from a coastal alliance spoke first. "Can we negotiate?" the woman asked. "We have worked for decades to get a seat at any kind of galactic table. If we kneel now, maybe they will allow us slow entry into their markets, their science, their travel." Another voice cut in, sharp and angry. "Kneel. They enter our system uninvited, issue a threat, and we kneel. That is not negotiation, that is surrender." Lisa glanced at John. "They gave us one open channel," she said. "We can answer. We have one chance to change the tone before this becomes war." John did not answer right away. He walked a few steps closer to the main screen, as if standing right in front of the words would help. "To the species of Earth, you will kneel." He remembered older messages, years back, when Earth first picked up hints of a galactic network. There had been stray signals, faint beacons, accidental leaks of data. The idea of a wider community among the stars had excited billions. People had imagined friendly exchange, trading songs, recipes, art, and science. But the first official contact had not come with music or greetings. It had come as a command. John turned back to the room. "We are not ready to answer them," he said. Looked confused. "Sir, the countdown they gave us is 18 hours. They said if we do not give an answer by then, they will begin orbital control procedures." "I know," John said. "We are not ready to answer them on the surface." Lisa understood first. Her eyes narrowed, then widened. "You mean the contingency," she said softly. John met her gaze and nodded once. "Please step with me into the secure room," he said. The closest security doors opened with a soft hiss. John walked through. Lisa followed, along with a small group of senior officers. The door closed behind them, blocking out the murmur of the command center. Inside, the secure room was small and dark. The walls were lined with old-style metal panels that even a full power surge could not crack. There were no windows, only a round table, a few chairs, and a single terminal with its own power supply. John placed his palm on the terminal. It took a sample of his skin and checked his pulse pattern. A small blue light turned green. "Confirm identity," the machine said. "John Carter," he answered, "Director of Strategic Defense." "Confirmed," the terminal replied. Lisa watched him with a careful face. She had seen classified projects before, but never one that needed a room like this. "Is this about the rumors from a few years back?" she asked. "The talk about a hidden fleet?" John did not answer right away. He entered a long code. The screen flickered twice, then showed a black background with a single symbol, a circle with 11 points. "Project Black Armada," the terminal announced. Lisa stared at the symbol. "I thought that was just a story," she said, "a myth to scare off possible invaders." "It started as a myth," John replied. "Then someone decided it should be real." Shifted in his chair. He was young enough that he had grown up with stories about secret weapons, hidden bases, and dark fleets that lurked just out of sight. He had never thought they might be true. "What is the Black Armada?" he asked. John looked at him. "It is the reason we have a choice today," he said. "Not a good choice, but a real one." He tapped a command. The screen changed to show wireframe shapes of ships. They were long and sharp, some with wings, some like heavy blades. They were all dark, even in the simple lines of the model. Decades ago, when early deep space probes first picked up hints of hostile activity near the outer system, a group of planners decided that simple defense lines would not be enough, John said. They wanted something that did not depend on open shipyards or public support, something no enemy could count in their calculations. Lisa folded her hands slowly. "So they built this armada in secret," she said. "We did not build all of it," John replied. "We started the pattern. Later generations finished it. It was hidden under oceans, inside hollowed mountains, beneath ice sheets, and inside asteroids. Many people worked in pieces, never knowing the whole design. The idea was simple. If the day ever came when we were told to kneel, we would have one last way to stand." He pointed to a list on the side of the screen. Ship designations scrolled down in neat lines. "Black Carrier Class, Black Spear Class, Black Shield Class," read quietly. Lisa shook her head. "You kept this hidden from the Council, from most governments, from almost everyone," she said. "Do you know what will happen if we reveal it now?" "We will lose the comfort of shadows," John said. "But we have already lost the comfort of peace. The Council in orbit just made sure of that." Lisa walked a slow circle around the table. "If we show them this fleet, they will see us as a threat even if we bend to their demands," she said. "They will believe we lied from the beginning." "They already believe they can order us to kneel," John replied. "They did not ask if we had hidden strength. They assumed we did not. That is their mistake." Looked from one to the other. "Sir, what is your plan?" he asked. John stared at the symbol on the screen, the circle with 11 points. For years he had hoped the code behind that symbol would never be used. "We will wake the Armada," he said. Lisa stopped packing. "If we wake them, we cannot pretend weakness," she said. "We will be showing our teeth." "Good," John answered. "They need to know that if they place a collar on us, it will break in their hands." He pressed his thumb against the confirmation panel. The terminal asked for a second voice. Lisa hesitated only a moment before stepping forward. "Lisa Morrow," she said, "diplomatic command level." The system accepted the dual authorization. The symbol on the screen rotated slowly, then broke apart into a map of Earth. Bright points appeared under the oceans, under blankets of water thousands of meters deep. Others glowed under mountain ranges. A few blinked inside the dark patches of polar ice. The map zoomed out, and more points appeared in orbit and near the moon. These are the nodes, John said. Each point is a shipyard, a storage dock, or a launch cradle. The ships inside are dormant but ready. We have run long-term tests. We know they can wake within hours. Swallowed how many ships? He asked. Enough to change the conversation, John replied. The numbers scrolled up the side of the map. Stared. He had never seen so many capital ships listed in one place. Lisa studied the world map. If we activate this, she said, there is no way back to being a quiet planet on the edge of a peaceful map. Every species that watches the sky will know that Earth is not just another client world. Do you want to be a client world? John asked. Lisa closed her eyes for a moment. She thought of cities full of people who had never even left their own continent. She thought of children who looked up at the stars and dreamed of bright futures, not chains. No, she said at last, I do not want that. Then we cannot kneel, John said. We can talk, we can trade, we can sign fair agreements, but we cannot kneel. Lisa opened her eyes and nodded. Then we wake the Armada, she said. John entered the final command. The terminal requested a phrase. Voice code director, it said. He had known this line for years, but speaking it out loud made it feel heavy. Black Armada stand to, he said. The lights in the room dimmed for a second as secure channels opened. The signal shot out along hidden cables and tight beam transmissions. It went through old tunnels beneath the sea, through rock, through forgotten outposts that had waited in darkness. Far below the Atlantic, in a vault of reinforced stone, something woke up. In a dry dock that had been carved into the ocean floor, a long dark shape lay in silence. Its hull was coated with layered armor that bent light, making the ship look like a hole in the world. For decades it had slept, its systems cooled to near zero. Now a single light came on inside the core, then another. Power sequence start, a soft machine voice said in the empty dock. Reactors warmed in hidden chambers, fields unfolded around them. Data lines lit up like veins. The long dark ship, once a secret drawing on a guarded screen, was now something alive. On the other side of the world, under a chain of mountains, an assembly of smaller vessels began to rise slowly out of their cradles. Their engines glowed with a faint blue haze as they ran through their first checks in years. Back in the secure room, John watched the map update. Multiple nodes acknowledge activation, the terminal reported. Black Carrier 1 through 6 online. Black Spear Wings 1 through 14 online. Black Shield platforms initiating wake sequence. Could hardly breathe. We really built all of this, he whispered. Lisa did not speak. Her eyes followed the points of light circling Earth on the map. She knew that somewhere up there, the alien envoy ship was also watching the planet. They would see nothing at first. The Black Armada would rise from hidden launch points one layer at a time. We still have to answer the Council, Lisa said. They gave us 18 hours. They will not wait forever. John nodded. Prepare a message, he said. But not yet. Let them believe we are silent while our shadows move. He opened the secure door and led the small group back into the main command center. The room was louder now. People were speaking in low, urgent voices. On one wall, news channels showed the alien ship in orbit, surrounded by a halo of light. Ships from Earth's public fleets were keeping a careful distance, their weapons cold. A young officer hurried up to John. Sir, the envoy is asking for a reply, she said. They have repeated the message 3 times. They say time is running out. John looked at the main screen. The alien envoy's face was a blur of shifting colors, with no clear features. Put them through, he said. The image of the envoy grew larger, filling the central display. Have you reached a decision? The many-layered voice asked. John stood with his hands at his sides. He did not bow, he did not raise his voice. He only spoke clearly. Earth is considering your demands, he said. We will respond before the deadline ends. The alien envoy paused. The colors of its form shifted in slow waves. "The terms are not subject to change," it replied. "Submission will grant you protection and guidance. Refusal will bring consequences. We will return for your answer." The signal cut off. Lisa turned toward John. "They think we are stalling because we are afraid," she said. "We are afraid," John answered. "Only a fool is not afraid when a council of empires aims its weapons at his world, but fear is not the same as surrender." He walked to his console. "Begin quiet coordination with all regional defense nets," John said. "Tell them that Phase Gray is in effect." Nodded and began to work. Phase Gray was an old emergency rule. It meant that every open weapon system would be ready but not obvious. Civilian channels would remain calm. Public fleets would hold positions that looked normal but could turn into battle formations in seconds. Lisa moved to the communication stations. "I want all civilian broadcasters to use simple language," she told the staff there. "No talk of surrender, no talk of victory, just facts. We tell our people that we are under pressure, that we are in talks, and that our defense networks are awake. We will not spread panic, but we will not lie." One of the younger communication techs looked up. "Ma'am, what should we say if they ask if we have any chance?" she asked. Lisa hesitated for a moment. Then she said, "Tell them we have prepared for hard days. Tell them we are not alone in the dark." Hours passed. Far under the seas, the first of the massive black carriers began to move. They rose slowly along hidden elevator shafts, water rushing past their hulls. For a moment, they were just shadows in the deep. Then they broke through the surface in remote oceans, far from normal shipping lanes. On the command center screens, dark shapes emerged from waves, water streaming from their sides. Their hulls were almost completely black, broken only by small bands of soft light near their engines. "Black Carrier 1 reports all systems green," a voice said over the secure channel. "Black Carrier 2 reports all systems green." John felt something in his chest ease just a little. The ships were not theory anymore. They were real, and they were waking up. High above the planet, in regions of orbit that normal traffic avoided, arrays of hidden platforms unfolded like flowers opening. Shields spun up. Silent cannons turned toward deep space. The Black Armada was not yet in full formation, but its first pieces were moving into place. On alien monitors, the quiet orbit of Earth would soon begin to change. Lisa watched the emerging fleet with a strange feeling. Pride and fear mixed in her chest. "We are about to show the galaxy who we really are," she said softly. John stood beside her, eyes fixed on the growing clusters of dark ships. "They demanded we kneel," he said. "Instead, we will stand. If that frightens them, they should have chosen different words." Outside, beyond the windows of the command complex, the sky looked calm. Birds flew over the water. The air was still. But above the clouds, in the high black sea of space, shadows were gathering. The Black Armada was rising. The darkness of space around Earth no longer felt empty. More and more black ships rose from hidden places. Some came from deep water, breaking the surface in slow silence before lifting into the air. Others emerged from mountain caverns, sliding out on rails of light and steel. A few drifted free from hidden docks near the moon, where they had waited like sleeping giants for a command that might never come. Inside the main command center, John Carter watched every movement on the wide display. Lines of blue and white marked the normal traffic lanes. Dark shapes marked the Black Armada as they moved into wide arcs around the planet. Lisa Morrow stood beside him, her eyes following the silent pattern of ships. "They are forming a shield pattern," she said quietly. "Not an attack line, a guard line." "That is what we planned," John replied. "Strength without blind aggression." Worked fast at his station, his fingers moving over the controls. "Alien sensors are reacting," he said. "Their envoy ship has shifted position by 12 degrees. That means they are nervous." On another screen, the alien vessel could be seen more clearly. When it had first arrived, it had held a calm, proud place above the planet. Now it drifted slightly back, its glowing ring spinning faster as it scanned the growing fleet below. Several other small alien ships appeared on the edges of the system display, long-range scouts, listening drones, silent watchers. They are calling for backup, added. Heavy signal traffic to points outside our system. Lisa frowned. The Council will not like this surprise, she said. They should not have tried to own us, John replied. Far below, on the surface of Earth, people gathered near screens, cameras, and open spaces. News channels showed live images of black ships rising over distant seas and deserts. The anchors spoke carefully, using calm words just as Lisa had ordered. Children pointed to the sky. Some people felt fear, others felt strange pride, many felt both at once. Within the deep black hull of Black Carrier 1, systems completed their final checks. Crew members moved through dim corridors lined with soft blue lights. Although most systems were automated, human presence had always been part of the design. The fleet was not meant to be run by cold machines alone. It was meant to carry human will into the dark. Brooks walked along the command deck with steady steps. She was a veteran pilot, calm even in tense moments. She ran her hand along the smooth surface of a control panel as she passed. "Feels good to stretch again," she said to the officer beside her. The man smiled faintly. "Feels strange," he answered, "like waking up in a different age." "It is a different age," replied. A soft tone echoed through the deck. "All crew to readiness positions," the internal voice announced, external awareness rising. Took her seat and looked forward at the wide viewing panel. Beyond it, space spread like an endless sea, dotted with distant stars. Below, Earth turned slowly, calm and blue, as if nothing at all strange was happening. High above, the alien envoy ship sent a new signal. On the command center screen, the envoy's form returned. This time, its colors pulsed faster. "You have revealed undeclared military strength," the voice stated. "This violates Council expectations of transparency. Explain this behavior." John held his arms behind his back and stepped forward. "You arrived in our home and ordered us to kneel," he said. "You made no effort to ask what strength we might hold. You assumed silence meant weakness. That was your error, not ours." "This Armada changes the security balance," the envoy replied. "Such imbalance is unacceptable." "We did not build it to threaten your worlds," John said. "We built it to defend our own." The envoy paused. The lights of its form shifted into darker shades. "The Council does not permit independent fleets of this scale among undeclared civilizations," it said. "You will reduce this force and comply with previous orders." Lisa stepped beside John. "Earth will not reduce its defenses under threat," she said calmly. "We will not kneel. If you wish dialogue, then speak as equals." For the first time, a small sound rippled through the envoy's voice, almost like displeasure. "Equality is earned through obedience," it said. John shook his head slightly. "Not for us," he replied. The signal cut again, harsher this time. In the command center, a low noise moved through the gathered staff. Some looked worried, others looked resolved. Leaned closer to John. "Sir, more contacts just appeared at the edge of the system," he said. "Large formations." The main screen shifted to a wider view. Out beyond the orbit of the outer planets, faint lights began to form patterns. One by one, shapes came into focus. Heavy alien warships, larger than the envoy ship, moved forward in slow, careful lines. "Their main fleet," Lisa whispered. "They did not come to talk," John said. "They came to control." The Black Armada adjusted its spread, sliding into formations. The rotation around Earth became more structured, more deliberate. Shield platforms aligned above key population centers. Spear-class ships moved to the outer ring, forming a silent barrier between the planet and the advancing alien force. Inside each human vessel, systems hummed, but no one fired. No one rushed. The discipline was clear and steady. Watch the alien fleet appear on her display. Each new contact made the map feel more crowded. "Eyes forward," came the voice of her ship commander. "We hold position until command speaks." "Yes, sir," she replied. On Earth, Lisa turned to the diplomatic console again. She sent a private message to several allied terrestrial governments. "We are not seeking war," she wrote, "but if they step closer, we must be prepared to show resolve." One reply came quickly. "We trust your lead. The world is watching." Hours passed, slow and heavy. The alien fleet stopped just outside a wide boundary drawn by the Black Armada. They hovered there, massive and imposing, weapons ports glowing with dormant power. Their leaders did not speak. They only watched. Finally, a new transmission arrived. This time the image was not the envoy. It was a broader symbol, layered in complex patterns. "This is the voice of the Galactic Council," the signal announced. "You have refused proper submission and displayed unauthorized strength. State your final position." John and Lisa shared a glance. John stepped forward once more. "Earth will not kneel," he said simply. "We seek peace and fair exchange, but we will not accept chains as guidance." "There are consequences to defiance," the Council replied. "You risk isolation, you risk collapse." "We risk those things by kneeling too," John said. "We choose our own risk." For several long seconds, no sound came through the channel. The Council symbol glowed, then dimmed, then glowed again. "Very well," it said. "You will be tested." The signal ended. Almost at once, movement rippled through the alien fleet. Several forward ships drifted closer, crossing the invisible line between neutral space and guarded zone. "Multiple incursions," called out. "They are pushing inside the boundary." John's expression hardened. "Hold fire," he ordered. "Maintain posture. Let them see that we control the line." On Black Carrier 1, alert systems shifted tone. Felt the slight vibration as the ship's positioning engines adjusted. "Target approach vector locked," her navigation officer said, awaiting instructions. No one spoke loudly. The silence held weight. One alien cruiser moved farther forward than the others, its bow lights bright and sharp. It felt like a challenge written in metal and light. Lisa leaned closer to John. "If they keep moving, it will be interpreted as a breach," she said. "They know that," John replied. "They want to see if we flinch." He pressed the channel key, linked directly to the fleet. "Black Spear wings," he said. "Demonstration maneuver level 1, no lethal engagement." "Confirmed," came the reply. In space, a pair of sleek human ships broke formation and moved forward. Their dark hulls glided with smooth confidence. They angled just enough to place themselves between Earth and the approaching alien cruiser. Soft lines of light traced across their surfaces as defensive fields activated, visible but not aggressive. The alien cruiser slowed, then stopped. A quiet wave of relief moved through the command center. "Boundary respected," said. John released a slow breath. "Good," he said. "They understand distance is not ours to give freely." The alien fleet did not advance further, but they did not retreat either. They stayed at the edge, watching, measuring, learning. Behind John, Lisa looked tired but steady. "This is only the beginning," she said. "Yes," he agreed. "They thought we were small. Now they will have to rethink every step." On Earth's surface, clouds drifted slowly over oceans and cities. Simple life continued. People went to work. Children went to school. Farmers tended fields, all under a sky that now held a growing ring of silent guardians. As night fell over part of the planet, the Black Armada became visible to the naked eye as moving points of light. Some thought they were stars. Others knew better. In distant command rooms across the galaxy, alien observers watched recordings and live feeds. Data analysts whispered to each other. Military planners frowned at unfamiliar hull designs. Political leaders spoke in careful, uneasy voices. Humans have not, one would say. They have hidden power, another would answer. They do not behave like client species, a third would mutter. And around Earth, the giant dark ships continued to move in slow, protective patterns, throwing long shadows over the blue world below. Looked once more at the planet through the viewing panel. She thought of everyone down there who would never know her name. She did not need them to. This was enough. "We hold the line," she said softly to no one in particular. Far above, the alien fleet still waited, silent and heavy, as if deciding what story to write next in the sky. The calm before deeper fire stretched long and thin. Earth stood awake. The Black Armada stood ready, and the galaxy watched, uncertain for the first time in a very long age. The silence between the two fleets felt heavy and sharp, like a wire stretched too tight. The alien ships stayed at the edge of the boundary, their outlines glowing against the dark of space. The Black Armada held its line, steady and calm, as if space itself obeyed their slow movement. Inside the main command center, John Carter watched the strange stillness with careful eyes. He knew silence could break at any second. Lisa Morrow stood near the communication console, listening to distant reports from diplomats across the world. Nations that once argued now waited for his next word. "They are probing our outer sensors," said. "Soft scans. They want data without firing." "Let them watch," John replied. "They will learn that we do not shake easily." A sharp, alert tone broke the quiet. "Unauthorized energy spike detected," another officer called out. "Alien cruiser at forward left quadrant charging a directed beam." On the main screen, one alien vessel flared bright. Its surface glowed with lines of fierce color. The light built in a narrow point at its front, like the eye of a blade warming before a strike. Lisa felt her breath tighten. "That is no test scan," she said. John's voice stayed firm. "Confirm intent." The system analyzed the pattern for a brief second. "Hostile targeting confirmed," it reported. "Defensive response level 2, John said. "No lethal counter yet." Space shifted as a human shield platform moved forward. Its layered barriers thickened, forming a wide wall of soft blue light in front of the closest Black Armada ships. The alien cruiser fired. A sharp beam of energy cut through space and struck the barrier. Light flared, spreading like water across glass. The shield held, bending but not breaking. Inside Black Carrier 1, Brooks felt the jolt through the ship's frame. Her fingers tightened around her controls. "They just fired," a voice said behind her. "I see that," she answered quietly. "We still hold." The alien cruiser fired again, stronger this time. The shield pulsed but stayed firm, rippling with controlled force. "Power stable," came the report from the shield control unit. "No breach." In the command center looked pale. "They are testing our limits," he said. "They want us to answer with fear," John replied. "We answer with balance." Lisa turned toward the screen where the alien fleet waited. "We should speak," she said. "They crossed the line with weapons." John nodded, open channel to the council. The familiar alien symbol appeared once more. "You have engaged hostile fire," John said. "We showed restraint. This is your warning. Step back from the boundary." The layered voice returned, but it no longer sounded calm. "Your presence is still a threat," it replied. "You refused compliance." "We refused to kneel," John said slowly. "We did not refuse peace." The council did not answer at once. Behind its silence, movement rippled through the alien fleet. Several more vessels shifted forward, weapon systems beginning to glow faintly. "They are preparing broader engagement," warned. John lowered his gaze to the tactical map. The second ring of black Armada ships slid, moving in precise half-circles. "Ready spear wings," he said. "Shield the surface zones. If they fire again, we respond with controlled precision." Lisa looked at him. "They will push harder now," she said. "The Council does not like losing face." "They lost it the moment they spoke the word kneel," John answered. Deep inside the human formation, felt the steady breath of the carrier's engines change. The ship shifted angle, placing itself more protectively toward the planet. Her visor displayed target outlines, but none were locked yet. The system waited for human judgment. Another alien ship fired. This time the beam struck closer to an outer patrol unit. The shield flared again, but energy bled through the outer edges, scoring the hull of a small escort craft. "Damage on Black Spear 4, came the call. "Minor surface burn." A low murmur moved through the command center. "That is enough," John said quietly. "Authorize limited defensive action." Hesitated, level 3. "Yes," John said. "Make them feel our line without crossing theirs." A calm signal passed through the fleet. In space, 2 Black Spear ships glided forward like dark birds over an endless sea. They did not rush. They did not roar. Their surfaces shimmered as they adjusted to the local energy field. A narrow pulse of human energy shot from one of the spears. It struck the alien cruiser that had first fired, hitting a precise point along its outer armor. The beam was not meant to destroy. It was meant to teach. The alien ship's glow wavered. Several external systems flickered and shut down. Its front lights dimmed. A gap of quiet followed. Then a harsh burst of angry signals erupted from the alien formation. "They did not expect us to push back," Lisa said softly. "They expected obedience," John replied. "We gave them consequence." The alien fleet pulled back slightly, then steadied. It was a movement of confusion, followed by rigid control. Another transmission came through, sharp and strained. "This is a formal warning," the Council voice said. "Continued defiance will result in suppression." "Suppression will result in response," John answered. "We are defending our home. Your choice determines the path." The signal ended. "Lean back slowly. They are debating," he said. "Massive traffic across their command net. They cannot decide whether to crush us or study us." "Let them solve that puzzle," John replied. Time dragged forward in long, tense stretches. Both fleets remained in standoff. Energy built like unseen heat in the space between them. On Earth, people continued their lives, but every screen told the same story. The sky above was no longer simple. It was guarded, layered, watched. In a small town far from the command complex, a father held his daughter as they watched a live feed of the glowing line of ships above the horizon. "Are they protecting us?" the little girl asked. "Yes," the father said. "They are making sure the sky stays ours." Back in Black Carrier 1 adjusted her posture. She saw the alien fleet shift formation again. Their rear section opened slightly, letting a larger command vessel move forward. It was slow, deliberate, proud. "That looks important," her co-pilot said. "Everything up there looks important," she replied, "but nothing more than the people below." The larger alien vessel sent a direct signal to the Black Armada formation. Instead of the layered council symbol, a single commanding voice emerged, clear and cold. "You have displayed unexpected resistance," it said. "Identify the will guiding your formation." John opened the channel. "This is John Carter," he said. "I speak for Earth's joint defense. We are not a rogue threat. We are a planet that will not bow under force." "Your refusal disrupts order," the alien commander replied. "Order built on fear is not order," John said. "It is slow violence." There was a brief silence, then the voice continued. "The Council did not expect a unified stand," it said. "Most developing worlds fracture under pressure. We learned to stand together under worse than pressure, John answered. We grew through disaster. We adapted through loss. That is why we will not kneel. For several seconds, the alien voice did not reply. Then something new happened. Behind the alien main line, another unknown signal flared. Its energy signature was different, sharp and unstable. A darker ship form slipped through their formation, sleek and aggressive, unlike the others. "What is that?" asked. "New design," Lisa said. "More hostile profile." The unknown ship charged its weapons without council pause. It surged forward past the polite boundary of the main fleet. "That one is not waiting for permission," John said. "It wants conflict." The rogue alien vessel fired a wide arc blast. This time the beam was wild and destructive. It smashed into a shield platform, forcing it back and breaking part of its light barrier. "Shield integrity at 70%, a voice reported. Felt her heart race. "That one came to kill," she muttered. John's face hardened. "Target that vessel," he said. "Neutralize propulsion and weapon systems. No full destruction." The order moved across the fleet. 3 black spear units glided into angle. Their energy systems aligned in perfect timing. Their beams flashed in sharp, controlled bursts, striking key access points along the rogue ship's hull. Sparks of alien light sprayed into space. The rogue vessel's forward motion stuttered. Its engines flickered. It tried to fire again, but its weapons dimmed. The rest of the alien fleet wavered, as if shocked by their own loss of control. "That ship is offline," confirmed. "It is drifting." Silence fell again. Then angry signals burst from the main alien formation, directed toward the disabled rogue craft. The commanding alien voice returned over the open channel, strained but controlled. "That vessel acted beyond council command," it said. "It has been reprimanded." Reprimanded, Lisa thought, as she watched the disabled ship float useless and silent. "We will not fire on a ship that is no longer a threat," John said, "but we will not allow further breaches." "Your restraint is noted," the voice replied almost cautiously. Glanced at John. "That almost sounded like respect," he whispered. "Almost is still something," John said. The alien main fleet pulled back a few degrees. Not a full retreat, but a careful pause. The energy levels of their weapons dropped slightly. In the background, the rogue ship continued to drift. Human drones moved close, scanning its surface without touching it. Lisa studied the shifting tactical lines. "We just changed the story," she said. "Yes," John replied. "They now know that we do not strike blindly, we strike with reason." In Black Carrier 1, watched the alien formation shift away a little. Her shoulders slowly relaxed. "We are still here," her co-pilot said, "and so is Earth." "That is enough for tonight," she murmured. Across the galaxy, the feed of the encounter spread. Other species watched closely as reports flowed through their networks. Human ships had absorbed fire and returned only measured force. They had disabled a hostile attacker without slaughter. They had spoken without trembling. On distant worlds, voices whispered. They did not panic. They did not collapse. They stood. Back on Earth, as one side of the planet slept, the other side stared up at the changing sky. Stars blinked behind moving shadows. The black Armada kept its slow orbit, steady as a heartbeat. John stood near the large window of the command complex, watching the faint points of light that marked each ship. Lisa joined him quietly. "They were not ready for this," she said. "No," he answered, "and neither were we truly, but now we are here." She looked at him. "Do you think they will try again?" "Yes," he said, "but differently. They will talk, they will test, they will look for weakness, we will show none." Outside, far beyond the reach of sound, the two great forces remained apart, watching, measuring, learning. The galaxy had demanded Earth kneel. Earth had answered by standing firm in the dark. And somewhere beyond the line of ships, unseen eyes observed the human world with a new and uneasy question. Not how to control them, but how to face them. The standoff did not end with loud victory or sudden peace. It shifted into something heavier and more serious, like the calm that comes after a storm but before the ground fully dries. The alien fleet remained at a greater distance now. Their movement was slower, less sharp, more careful. The Black Armada stayed firm in its spiral grip around Earth, a quiet ring of strength that refused to bend. Inside the command center, John Carter studied the tactical display for signs of sudden change. He saw none, but he did not relax. "They are thinking," said. "Their signal patterns show debate, not attack." "Good," John replied. "Let them think as long as they need." Lisa Morrow watched new message indicators forming on the diplomatic screen. "Several council members are requesting formal communication lines," she said. "Not demands, requests." John looked at her. "Open one negotiated line, no audience, no threats, just words." The channel opened slowly. This time the image was clearer, still alien, still strange, but less sharp in tone. "We acknowledge your defensive action and disciplined restraint," the voice said. "The Council wishes to explore revised terms of interaction." Lisa raised an eyebrow slightly. "That is a change," she murmured. "You may speak," John said. "Our previous approach was based on standard compliance models," the alien voice continued. "Your response has demonstrated deviation from expected behavior." John held his expression steady. "We are not a model," he said. "We are a people." A brief pause followed. "Your statement is registered," the voice replied. "The Council requests delay of aggressive posture in favor of structured dialogue." Lisa leaned toward the microphone. "We accept structured dialogue," she said. "But our defensive posture will remain as long as your warships remain near our home." "Understood," the voice responded. "The Council proposes an initial cease movement line." On the tactical map, a thin glowing curve appeared, marking a new boundary farther from Earth. John studied it. "If your fleet respects this line, we will not advance ours," he said. "Accepted," came the reply. Across the vast distance of space, the alien ships began to slide backward, slowly and carefully, like a flooded tide retreating. Their weapons systems dimmed further as they aligned behind the new line. A long breath passed through the command center. "We did it," whispered. "We pushed them back without full war." "We did not push," John said. "We stood and they chose to step away." Lisa allowed a small, tired smile. "The difference matters," she agreed. In orbit, the Black Armada adjusted, maintaining its shield ring but no longer tightening. The sense of immediate collision softened, though the tension never vanished completely. Inside Black Carrier 1, Brooks leaned back slightly in her seat. The glow of the planet filled the deck with pale blue light. "So this is what a calm victory looks like," her co-pilot said. "It looks like responsibility," she answered. "Now we keep people safe, not just brave." Hours turned into another slow cycle of Earth's rotation. Sunrise brushed one side of the planet while night fell on the other. The fleet remained watchful and still. Back on the surface, news channels changed their language. Panic headlines faded. Words like defense, dignity, and resolve replaced fear and surrender. In the command center, John and Lisa continued to handle incoming diplomatic signals from multiple alien factions. Not all voices were hostile. Some were curious. A few were cautious but polite. One message stood out. "The Council requests formal introduction of cultural delegates," the translator displayed. "They acknowledge Earth's status as autonomous." Lisa sat. "Autonomous," she repeated. "They did not say client or supervised." "They are learning," John said. "Slow but learning." He approved the exchange. Later, a new alien figure appeared on screen. Smaller in form, less aggressive in glow pattern. "I am designated liaison voice," it said. "You may address me as—" Lisa responded with calm respect. "You may address me as Lisa," she said. "This is John." "Your resistance altered the Council's evaluation," explained. "The term Neil is no longer in active use regarding your species." A quiet, lasting silence filled the room after that statement. John nodded once. "That word should never have been used," he said. "The Council now acknowledges your right to sovereign defense," continued. "We seek stable coexistence." Lisa folded her hands. "Coexistence begins with respect," she said, "not instruction." "Registered," answered. Outside Earth's atmosphere, the Black Armada remained visible, but its presence now carried a different feeling. No longer silent panic, no longer raw defiance. It had become a statement. "We stand, we endure, we choose our path." Days later, the alien fleet even more, leaving behind only neutral observation units far outside the guarded zone. The primary threat shape dwindled from view, slipping back into the deep lanes of space. The Black Armada did not chase. It did not celebrate. It held position, steady and quiet. In the command complex, John removed his uniform jacket for the first time in what felt like years. Lisa noticed. "You finally look human again," she said. He gave a faint smile. "I never stopped being human, I just had to carry the weight of it." Approached them, holding a new report. "The Council has officially removed the submission clause from all communication drafts," he said. "They also want joint system mapping projects." Lisa read the message over his shoulder. "They want to learn our terrain instead of owning it," she said. "That is progress," John agreed. "Careful progress, but real." Beyond Earth, the universe did not soften. It remained wide, cold, filled with unknown dangers and silent watchers. But for now, the immediate storm had settled. Stood near the viewing panel of Black Carrier 1, watching Earth below. She thought of cities, of quiet homes, of children sleeping without knowing how close their sky had been to falling. Her ship commander moved beside her. "You did well," he said. "They all did," she answered. "Every one of us." He nodded, and the galaxy saw it. As cycles passed, the Black Armada shifted from full battle formation into a structured guardian pattern. Some ships returned to hidden docks for maintenance, while others remained on watch. The surface of Earth returned to routine. Streets filled again. Music played. People talked about the stars with a new sense of pride. Not because they had threatened the galaxy, but because they had refused to bow to it. In the highest chamber of the Galactic Council, distant from human view, voices echoed in quiet tension. "They are not like others," one said. "They did not break," another answered. "They answered strength with strength, but not cruelty." The tone shifted from control to calculation, from command to memory. On Earth, John and Lisa prepared a final transmission to all planetary networks and extraterrestrial observers. John stood before the recording lens. "Earth did not ask for conflict," he said. "But when commanded to kneel, we chose to stand. We will continue to seek peace, cooperation, and shared growth across the stars, but never under forced silence. We are here. We are aware. We will not disappear." The message reached human homes, alien stations, and distant listening posts scattered among unknown systems. Lisa watched the transmission end. "That will echo," she said. "Yes," John replied, "for a long time." Out in the dark, the Black Armada moved like slow guardians around a quiet jewel of blue and green. The galaxy had demanded Earth kneel. Humanity had answered with calm resolve, controlled strength, and a wall of silent ships that changed how stars would speak of them forever. And as distant observers turned their gaze away, one truth remained clear across the cold expanse of space. Earth did not kneel. Earth stood.